For nearly a century, the Royal Flying Doctor Service has been the lifeline of the Australian outback. They're a symbol of heroism and hope, providing a mantle of safety for anyone in the continent's most isolated corners. But what if the story you know isn't the whole story? Behind that iconic image of planes soaring over the red desert is a much more complicated reality. A story of tragic origins, heartbreaking failures, and modern-day struggles. Today, we're exploring 5 surprising truths that reveal the real story of the Royal Flying Doctor Service. The idea for the Flying Doctor wasn't born in a boardroom. It was inspired by a real-life nightmare. The story begins in 1917 with a stockman named Jimmy Darcy, who was crushed by his horse on a remote cattle station. After a grueling 12-hour journey to the nearest town, Halls Creek, his situation was dire. With a ruptured bladder and the nearest doctor over 2,800 kilometers away, the local postmaster was guided via Morse code to perform surgery with a pen. While the operation itself was a desperate success, complications set in, and Darcy later died just hours before a doctor, who had traveled for days by ship, car, and finally horseback, arrived to help. This horrific incident became a driving force for Reverend John Flynn. Though it would take another 11 years for him to officially establish the service in 1928. Darcy's tragic death was the catalyst that fueled Flynn's obsession to conquer the tyranny of distance. You'd probably guess the RFDS operates as a single, seamless, national organization. Well, that's not actually the case. The Royal Flying Doctor Service is technically a federation of 7 separate, independently run legal entities. For years, this fragmented structure has created some major internal headaches. Trying to get different organizations on the same page for everything from operations to integrating electronic health records has been a slow and complicated process. While they project an image of absolute unity, the reality is a constant behind-the-scenes effort to centralize and standardize their life-saving work. Flying into some of the harshest environments on Earth is incredibly risky, and the RFDS has not been immune to tragedy. While its overall safety record is impressive, it has been punctuated by devastating failures. In 2001, an RFDS plane crashed near Mount Gambier, South Australia, while on a mission to pick up a 6-year-old boy for a transplant. The pilot, Brian Smith, was killed in the accident. Even more harrowing was a crash in 1981 near Kalgoorlie. A flight nurse, pilot, a passenger, and an infant patient all lost their lives when the plane was hit by a severe squall and collided with a mine headframe. These tragedies are a brutal reminder of the immense dangers their crews face, where weather and mechanical failure can lead to the ultimate price. This is a side of the RFDS you've likely never seen. If you're finding this untold history as fascinating as we are, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. For a service famous for innovation, they pioneered telehealth with pedal-powered radios. You'd think they'd be all over the latest medical tech. But one of its surprising secrets is that adopting some modern tools has been a real challenge. While the organization is working to modernize, the rollout of new technologies has been described as slow and patchy. The biggest hurdles aren't just cultural. For years, a lack of reliable broadband in the bush has made it difficult to implement more advanced systems like video links, meaning staff often rely on the simplicity of a phone call. It's an interesting paradox. A service that conquered distance with technology is still fighting to overcome the digital divide to fully embrace the next generation of healthcare. This is arguably the most shocking secret, because it's a problem that persists today. The very existence of the heroic Royal Flying Doctor Service highlights a deep, systemic failure. It's needed because, for over a century, Australia has failed to provide adequate and equitable healthcare to its rural and remote citizens. RFDS research and other data paint a grim picture. People in remote areas are far more likely to be hospitalized and die from preventable conditions. Life expectancy can be years lower than in major cities. And nearly 18,500 people have no access to a primary healthcare service within an hour's drive. The RFDS isn't just an emergency service. It's a multi-billion-dollar band-aid on the gaping wound of healthcare inequality. Their flights are a testament to their incredible skill, but they are also a symbol of a national shame. That, in a wealthy, developed nation where you live, can still be a death sentence. From its tragic inspiration to the national inequities it highlights today, the Royal Flying Doctor Service is far more than just a symbol of outback heroism. It's a complex story of struggle, failure, and a relentless fight against the odds. Has this changed how you see this iconic service? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more hidden histories.